Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sunday Sit-Down, the first ever live broadcast of the Staten Island High School Boys Basketball League bracket coverage, where we are going to be providing you live on the air the seedings tonight for both the JV and the varsity. I'm Danny Chanod from Nobody Cares Sports Network. Joining me in the broadcast booth tonight is the president of the Staten Island High School Basketball League, Mr. Charlie Donohue. Charlie, make love to the mic and say what up to everybody out there.
Well, thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. One, I want to start by saying thanks to Jody's for allowing us to come here tonight and give the seedings out. This has been something that we talked about from the beginning, and it's been very, very exciting. I think this season has been an amazing year for so many different teams, and there's a lot of question marks, but it's going to be one of the best tournaments, in my opinion, that we've had.
I agree, man, and I just want to say we're super hyped to be in the fold this year. Once again, we'll be broadcasting the quarterfinals, so we'll have an opportunity to broadcast any team that makes it out of the knockout round starting this Wednesday. But first, I got to give a big shout-out to the supporters of Nobody Cares Sports Network, the people that allow us to trudge along and set up for absolutely no fee to the community, like LeBron Team Realty, Wolfhound Nitro Stout. That's the official beer of Nobody Cares Sports Network. Do you know that down at Flagship Brewery?
Love those
that
guys.
Stuff, yeah. If your car runs out of gas, you could throw some in there. It'll put you a couple blocks for sure. Give a shout-out to our guys over there at Windows. We are eighth wonder of the world. Free parking in Brooklyn. Never heard of that in my life. Qualitech Computer Companies is how we get our great internet everywhere we go. Jay's on the Bay. Shout-out to Chef Joe. Intricate part of it. Comfort Solutions, air conditioning and heating specialist. Shout-out to Jack Carlson. Want to give a shout-out to Jimmy Max. We'll be broadcasting Nobody Cares Live there this Tuesday night at 7:30. And, of course, our boy Cosmo Martelli from 1-800-WATER DAMAGE. Tonight, it's the Sunday Sit-Down live from Jody's Club Forest. We're going to be going through the JV bracket first. Now, a lot of people, they're familiar with Nobody Cares Sports Network, but for the people that aren't, we do things last minute around here. It's because we tend to get hired last minute. We don't like to, Charlie, but that's the way the lemon shook out of the tree this time. So I was only able, Nobody Cares Red, exactly. Red Trip in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Star-studded audience here tonight. Not really. How is it possible to have 6 people in the audience and get dirty looks? I don't get it. But we've got the JV bracket that we're going to go through first. Now, we don't have artwork for that, but we are just going to kind of run through it and tell people what the matchups are going to be. And after we get through our JV bracketology, we're going to move into our varsity seating, and we have brackets that we could display on screen for that. So, Charlie, you ready to rock and roll here?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't know what I'm doing. This is your baby. I'm just here.
All right, I got you. So basically, number one, I want to say thanks to everybody that has been interested and kept the buzz alive. I mean, since we decided that we were going to have the meeting in the earliest parts of the season, we spoke about a coaches poll for the JV. We spoke about a committee, a first-time groundbreaking situation where we hired 5, 6 guys that were going to come watch, and they did an amazing job as far as being available and being seen at the game. So that was two things that we spoke about early to get the ball rolling. Obviously, in this time when things changed and teams were switching divisions, there was a lot of new and uncharted waters that we had to figure out as a group, as a team, as a community. So, number one, I know Dan saying he's a late hire, but honestly, he's part of the team, and we're so happy to have him because without Dan last year, there would have been no way we had the coverage we had. This year, Dan jumped in last minute and helped us out in order to carry on the quarterfinals and do just the job that he's been doing for Staten Island. And it's amazing. I appreciate you, Dan.
No, man, I appreciate you guys. You realize, though, nobody cares, and we're just out here to make it lit. The kids like it. We don't take ourselves too seriously. So hopefully you don't send too much hate mail for us when we announce these seedings right now. But if you do, please send it all to the bookie and the Commodore down in Florida.
Well, you better get online, bro, because right now I got enough hate mail that could fill up the room in here. But that's okay, though.
That's fine. You can check my text. Nobody cares.
No, but, all right, so this is basically...
So we have, I know that for the varsity, it's broken down to different sites, right? Because it starts on Wednesday, and it is single game elimination, bit of madness, but it's at 3 different locations. So for the JV, is it at 3 different locations when they start their tournament this week?
Well, JV is actually, we have a different animal. We have 13 teams rather than 14, so we have 3 teams actually getting by rather than 2. So we have 2 sites in Curtis and Port Richmond. Curtis will be hosting 3 games, and Port Richmond will be hosting 2. So, again, this has been a tough time, asking everybody for the availability in gym and trying to put this thing together. Obviously, we know it's not a perfect system, but it's one that Staten Island is going to appreciate when they see the level of play from all these teams against each other, and I'm really super excited to see that. So basically, I know this is an exciting time for a lot of people out there, the kids, the parents, everybody wants to know, and right now we're going to unleash the 1 through 13 first for the JV, and then we'll go into the actual sites and times. So with this year tournament, we're going to start from the bottom. So the 13th seed in the JV tournament is going to be CSI McCown, the Dragons.
It's the year of the Dragons. I know the bookie's very fired up about that. It's a dark horse across the board. So the CSI McCown Dragons are the 13th seed in the JV bracket.
Absolutely. With that being said, the 12 seed is a little different this year. We got a new team in. We got a new group coming in that we're really happy to introduce. And, it's a long time coming. It was a tough time when we first started the tournament because we had the league in place. And now that things have changed, obviously this is a Staten Island thing. And we welcome Staten Island Academy with open arms to be the 12th seed in the tournament, the JV. Welcome to the game, boys.
Staten Island Academy entering the fold here as the 12th seed for the JV. So we have our 13th seed is CSI McCown, and our 12th seed is Staten Island Academy. Moving right along, Charlie.
Rolling right along right here. In the 11th seed, we have the Panthers of Patrides that are going to step in and do their job. And I got to thank Patrides because without them last year, we would not have a venue to have the tournament. They did an amazing job from Nick, the head coach, to Steve, the AD. You guys were nothing but super professional. And it was an unbelievable tournament. And without you guys, we would not have been able to pull it off. So I am forever grateful in my first year that you guys were able to step in and truly help us. Thank you, guys.
Shout out to the Panthers, man.
Absolutely. And again, the gym is so good, man. That was Staten Island College before that. It's a huge venue. And honestly, just being at the girls' tournament yesterday, which I got to say, man, you guys did an amazing job. I want to thank Mr. Fasello for starting that cup and getting everybody going, and Nicholson, and to Coach Gannon, and to the Zeras family, and to all those guys that made that a special night. It was awesome.
It's been a long time coming for the girls, man, and it's about time to see them have their own tournament. So, we're happy to see what happens with them as they continue to grow. It's only 1 year. It's the first year doing it. It's not like one and done. So,
and I really like the way
it's a tradition.
I really love the way that they brought back a lot of the old players for the jump balls and for the idea of that they missed it. And it's like you said, it should have been a long time ago because our girls' leagues for so long have been so competitive with so many great players that it's a shame that we didn't get a chance to see that movie up close.
Absolutely. So we've announced the 13th seed and the 12th seed here for the JV bracket, and we're going to announce the 11th seed now.
Well, that's the Patrides. We just did that. So
Copy. Terrible at my job.
Sleeping on the job.
Welcome.
All right, so now we're in the 10 seed, right? We're going to roll down to the Raiders of Port Richmond in the 10 seed.
10 seed.
10 seed. And honestly, Port Richmond, man, they're a dangerous 10 seed. I tell you, I see them this year. We played them on opening night, the energy, and they're going to be at their gym. So, again, the way we set it up, we didn't know who was going to be where. We had the availability first, and that's how we took it. So Port Richmond is going to be get a chance to play at home in front of their crowd, and it's always a tough place. And believe me, no one knows that better than me, playing there on opening night for the last 20 years. With that being said, the 9 seed, we're rolling into the Pirates. We got Tottenville. We got Tottenville coming in at the 9. I mean, that's going to be an interesting one. And rolling right along them, they're going to be playing the MSIT Seagulls. So for me, that's an 8-9 game. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I watched the 2 times they played each other this year, and I thought it was 2 very competitive games. And I'm looking forward to seeing another one. Really am.
So at 10, you've got Port Richmond High School in the JV bracket, and then moving along, you've got Tottenville JV at number 9.
Yes, sir. And then we got MSIT Seagulls rolling in at 8.
Copy.
All right. And I think those 8 were group right there was kind of what everybody figured. And then I got to be honest, man, we had a lot of drama going on with the JV as from the 1 through 7. But you know what?
Define drama. Like, what does drama mean? People want to know at home.
The drama is when I look at my phone and 3 minutes later I have 42 more texts,
yep,
all about the same thing.
Copy.
I call that drama.
A little bit of drama.
It's
getting chippy out here in the community tonight. I like it.
Yeah, not scared. But again,
never scared. No, we're like Bone Crusher.
That's it, man. But the bottom line is all 7 of these teams right now that are fighting and jockeying for position. It's something that it's going to be great to see it play out on the court because I think that it's going to be a lot of heavyweight matchups throughout the play-in to the quarters, to the semis, and to the finals.
Right, so we're going through the JV bracket right now. Number 8 is MSIT. Moving right along into the top 7 now for JV.
All right, and in the 7 seed, rolling in. Not happy, but there. We got the Falcons. We got the Falcons of Wagner rolling in at the 7th seed.
Are you saying not happy there?
No, I mean, listen. When you're in the top division and you go from Staten Island to the next one and you feel you're stepping up, there's a lot out there riding on all of these things. But again, these are super competitive teams with super competitive schools with super competitive coaches, and I wouldn't expect anything less, to be honest with you.
I'm with you. All right, so Wagner High School is the number 7 seed in the JV bracket. Moving right along at number 6.
Rolling in at 6, no difference than the next guy at 7. Not happy with the seed, but I think it's gonna be what it is. And again, we all got a lot to prove, and I love all these guys, and I've been fielding phone calls and trying to listen and respect everybody's decision. And I love the idea that the pages and pages of notes that I'm getting from all these coaches that trying to plead their case, and I get it, man. I'm no different than any of you guys, man. So I respect the hustle. Trust me.
All right, that was a big build up. I'm ready for number 6.
The New Dorp Centrals.
Oof.
I know.
All right, so New Dorp having a solid year this year on JV. They must have had, I guess, a couple of big losses that gets them sort of the 6 in this list.
I don't know if that was it, man. I don't really know. I just think that the poll came out the way it was, and everybody sees things a little differently. And, like I said, there was a lot of really good arguments for a lot of really good teams. And unfortunately, this is the way the chips fell, and hopefully next year we could maybe find a little better way of cleaning it up and making it work a little bit better. But for this year, this is where we are, man. So unfortunately, the coaches poll for the JV, some may like and some may not like.
All right, so working through the JV and clearly making enemies along the way, getting to number 5. Send your hate mail to the Commodore. Who do we have?
Got the Lions. The Lions at a 5 seed in the JV is something, I don't know if I've seen that in a long time. I think they've been probably in the top 4 in a very long time. So for them to slip to the 5 a little bit, I think that could be a little eye-opener for some people, but it opens the door for a lot of other teams. This season the JV has been super competitive on a lot of different levels. The Catholic school, there's 1 game away to finish in their season, and if more wins, they could be the solidified 4-2. If not, there's going to be 4 teams with the same record. So it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't easy for people to really look at it, but the bottom line is, Farrell's the 5 seed.
Farrell is the 5 seed, coming in just ahead of New Dorp at 6. Rolling along now, Charlie, we're into the top 4 of the JV bracket.
All right, top 4. And this is a tough one because if you're the 4, that means you're not in the bye. So, you kind of fell out of the bye, but it's something that, you're in the 4 seed. It's something a good seed. People thought you're really good. And this year, it's the Warriors. Curtis Warriors going to roll in at the 4 seed this year.
Curtis JV coming in the top 4 here just ahead. Moving right along here, this JV bracket, Charlie, lots to talk about here, but we're not here to talk about it. We're here to just announce the seeds. And before we get into the final 3 here, when does the JV bracket start up?
All right, so Tuesday we have the JV bracket. It's going to start off, like I said, it's going to be at Curtis and it's at Port Richmond. I'm going to give you the rundown real quick after that because we are on a time constraint situ here. But, so we're looking forward to starting that on Tuesday. The quarterfinals will be on the 9th. I'm sorry, Wednesday?
Just get our stats department just tuning in here. JV starts on Wednesday.
Wednesday the 7th. The varsity is the 8th. And then the 9th is the actual quarterfinals for the JV. Okay, I'm sorry.
Excellent.
Thank you, Danny Lee. All right, rolling along. So the top 3, we have the Vikings stepping in at the 3 seed. And honestly, the Vikings did a good job in their non-league schedule. They stepped up. They played all the public schools, and, they did a good job. So I think they deserve and earned the 3rd seed. But what I say, Dan? Nobody cares.
Oh, no, nobody does care. But shout out to Cortese and everybody down there. That's some powerhouse program that they've put together from JV to boys and with the girls program. C ain't nothing to play with nowadays.
No, and if you walk through there, you'd think you're at a Division I college with the way their school looks. So shout outs to them and all the things they got going on.
Yeah, great cafeteria. We can't eat at it, though. Students only.
All right.
It's a grievance. Moving right along.
All right. And now here we are at the 2 seed. And the 2 seed is going to roll in as the St. Peter's Eagles. Last year's defending champs, they're going to be here trying to carry the torch. And it's going to be a challenge, guys. It's not going to be an easy one. You guys better be ready for it this year.
So the St. Peter's Eagles on JV represent the 2 seed, and that only leaves 1 team left, Charlie, for the number 1 seed.
And it's the Mavericks. It's the Mavericks, the year of the steer. This is it. The Mavericks have got their 1 seed. I don't know if they've ever been the 1 seed in any high school basketball tournament. I don't know that on Staten Island. But shout out to them and Coach Burns, and they're doing an amazing job from top to bottom, the freshman team, the JV team, and the varsity. But Mr. Burns is one of my favorite guys on the island, and good job, guys. Congratulations.
Absolutely great stuff. So that's going to round up our JV bracket as we talk it here at the Sunday Sit-Down live from Jody's Club Forest here on Forest Avenue. The boys bracket, Charlie, this was top secret information.
It was.
I know with the JV bracket, as you talked about, there was a lot of, I got so many texts and stuff like that because it was out there and made aware to the coaches, hey, guys, these are your seeds. To everybody out there that's tuned in, the varsity coaches right now do not know their seeds. So they will be finding out live on the air here. Is that right?
That is right. I asked, the committee actually asked if they could wait till after Friday night's games. They felt like there was games that they wanted to see and make decisions. Saturday, they called me. They told me that they were coming together with one list that they were going to send me as a group. And again, these guys knew nothing but the games. They don't know where the venues are. They had no idea where people would be playing. I just asked them to give me a ranking from 1 to 14, and Charlie DBAs, who was like, I guess, the foreman of the jury, he basically asked me if I wanted to see them, and I said I'd rather not. I wanted to be like a gender reveal.
Okay.
So we made sure that Danny was able to get them. I did get them last minute because we did want to put the graphics up on the screen for everybody at home that could see where everybody's playing. But it's been great, man. I love the anticipation. We got a couple of coaches in the house today right now sitting here. I know there's a lot of at home wondering.
So no tiebreakers this year. Last year I know you had a tiebreaker between Farrell and St. Peter's where you had to decide it at the end of the year. So no tiebreakers this year, right?
No, but just carrying on from last year's coin toss, which I thought was amazing. The buzz of the coin toss was great, the live coin toss. And here we are tonight with Sit Down Sunday.
That's right. It's the Sunday Sit Down. Absolutely nobody cares. Let's get into it. It's the varsity tournament bracket. It tips off this Thursday night from 3 different locations. Charlie, the 1 and 2 seeds in every bracket, whether it's high school or college, seem to be a no-brainer. I imagine we have a similar scenario here with the two top dogs here on high school basketball.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, this year, obviously, there was a lot of questions to be answered throughout the seasons with everybody being very, very similar. The top 2 teams were kind of like jockeying for position, I would say, the 2 of them. So it's no surprise that this year, as the 1 seed, it's the St. Peter's Eagles, and at the 2 seed, it's the Wagner Falcons. And I think that's well-deserved by 2 great teams that play in top-level competitions that have, really carried the name of Staten Island in such a great way and showing that across the water that's, we're here too, and to make those teams come over this year and play and to see the level of the wins that both of them are having, it's great. It's great for us, it's great for everybody, and most importantly, it's great for the tournament. And before I even say, last year's tournament was so good. We had state champions in it. We had undefeated teams in it. We had division winners. It was great. And this year, I think, honestly, it's going to be better.
I couldn't agree more with you. We've got so much hype built around this tournament. And, as you mentioned earlier, that we're going to be broadcasting the quarterfinals, but we're also going to be sticking around for the semifinals and the finals. So nobody cares. We'll be in the building trying to produce as much hype as humanly possible. We're going to move right along here, Charlie. You have a certain way that you want to break this down. I know that you want to sort of go through how the teams match up against one another.
Yeah, man. So everybody out there in TV land, understand that this is exciting, this is new, this is something different. And I know there's going to be some people that might not be happy, might that disagree. But the bottom line is the guys that were out there did a really, really hell of a job to be available to see this. And again, it's not a perfect system, but I think there's some real intriguing matchups. I think it's really something that's going to be super duper exciting. So I'm excited right now to let you guys in on the secret. All right, so basically, the first matchup that'll be happening at Moore High School is going to be the 4 seed. St. Joseph by the Sea comes rolling in at the 4 seed this year. I don't know. Some people might be surprised. Some people might not be. It's interesting to see that. That might get people's minds going right now, thinking that they're the 4. I think that this was the exciting part of the tournament. And they'll be matching up with the 13 seed, right?
Yeah, so we've got
the 13 seed, which is Eagle Academy, which their first year in the tournament, that's actually last year they were a new breed. They came in, but Justin Spisto and Mr. Timmons over there, they did an amazing job this year, really being competitive and fighting and getting better all season. So that 13 seed I wouldn't be surprised next year if they're middle of the pack to the top. They got a lot of great athletes, a lot of great things going on there, and they really have the potential to be a problem for us and Curtis and all those other guys, because now there's a lot of other players going to different schools. So it's going to be interesting going forward. But that first matchup at Moore High School is going to be St. Joseph by the Sea, the Vikings, versus the Eagle Academy.
All right, I'm about to bring it up on screen right now. As you mentioned, we've announced 4 teams so far in our bracket. The top 2 teams, St. Peter's at number 1, the Wagner Falcons at number 2. And our first official matchup in the knockout round starting this week, it's number 4C against number 13 in Eagle Academy.
We're going to stay on here at Moore in the venue here. And Moore, this is a real intriguing matchup, man. This is one that I'm interested really seeing. I think. Say again?
What do you got here? What's next? Oh, I got it. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, we talked about that, right?
No, I'm terrible.
All right. All right, so now we have in the 8-9 game at Moore in the second nightcap of the game. It's going to be a battle. We got the 8-seeded Curtis Warriors coming into the 9-seed Moore Mavericks. Now, that's going to be one in that little gym. That's going to be one that you might not want to miss up in local live there if that's going to be streamed. So, again, man, that's just 2 wild cards. Moore had a real early start to the season. They got to play it back now, and they're really steamrolling. And Curtis is a wild card. You know, Curtis stepped up and went to the other division, and now they're back. And now they're back in the home of the Staten Island tournament where they hold a lot of championships as well. So I think that's going to be a super-duper heavyweight fight. And if I'm St. Peter's, at the 1 seed, man, that makes for an interesting quarterfinals match. Could it be a Curtis Peters? Could it be a Moore Peters? I mean, that's going to be something I think that would be interesting and see how that plays out no matter who wins that 8-9 matchup. So I think that's going to be a great night at the home of the Mavericks.
8-9 we've just announced, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're at right now. I'm about to bring it up on screen. I've started to sweat like Ewing at the free throw line.
All right, and here we go. The next site is going to be at Port Richmond. The Port Richmond Raiders are hosting here for the varsity playing. And in the 5-12 game, we got the Port Richmond Red Raiders coming at 5. They're coming in at the 5 seed, and it's going to be a tough one. Danny Lee's going to have to travel into the land of the Raiders, the 12 seed. CSI is going to the 5 seed. And I'm telling you, man, it's not easy to go to someone else's house. And they had 2 battles this year, and it's another one. That's a great matchup to look forward to. Again, I know it's going to be tough for Danny to walk in there and be the visitor, but the bottom line is that's the way it fell out. And true, Dan, nobody cares.
Nobody does care. Let me just catch up with you here for a second because I had it switched on the bottom where I want to make sure that I get it right here, where the matchups are correct. So it's Curtis and Moore up top. So the winner of Curtis and Moore will face off against St. Peter's, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why I just wanted to – I had it switched on screen there for a hot second. So we'll just switch that around. And this next bracket that you're talking about here on the bottom, you said CSI is the bottom seed, right?
Well, they're the 12, yeah. CSI is the 12. They're going to be visiting the Raiders, the 5 seed.
Copy.
All right. As
so
we move on.
1 second. Just get you. I got to put it up on screen. I'm terrible at my job.
Again,
so wait, I got to give a shout out. Port Richmond High School. I got to give a shout out to Jake O'Connell over there. He runs their media department. Jake is the brother of Maria O'Connell, who is a star basketball player at St. Joseph by the Sea. And Jake is a one-time intern for the Nobody Cares Sports Network. Hired and fired. We appreciate him. Great kid.
I'm not going to let you show me up here. Let me give you just a little insight on Jake. Jake's dad works with us at McKee, and he's one of the greatest guys ever, and we're real happy with Jake. And Jake's been nothing but amazing, really setting that up at Port Richmond and getting them up and running. And honestly, man, Port Richmond has been like a home to me as well. Every time we come there on opening night, I have Nancy Center doing an amazing job, and Demo at the door, and Coach Smalls has always been nothing but professional with us, and it's just a really exciting atmosphere every time we go there. So I appreciate them.
Yeah, absolutely, 110%. So it's Port Richmond, the 5 seed, in a classic 5-12 matchup. Is there a potential for an upset there like that we see in college basketball, like where the 12-5 could potentially knock off that higher seed?
Well, you know what? They played this year twice. They split, so obviously anything's possible. Danny gave them 2 good fights when they played each other. Rue's team has been real tough all season and finished with a really good record down the stretch. So it's going to be an exciting game. And, again, it's going to be a tough task for Danny to walk into that atmosphere, but I think the Dragons are seasoned, and I think they're ready for the challenge, and it's going to be something. I mean, you know, USEF versus X is going to be something that people are going to want to see. So let's get it on.
Let's get it on. All right, we're halfway through the varsity bracket here, which starts off this week. As you can see, STP and Wagner are your 1 and 2 seeds, respectively. They both get a first-round bye. It's number 8, Curtis, versus number 9, Moore. Number 4, C versus number 13, Eagle Academy. And number 5, Port Richmond High School against number 12 and CSI McCown.
All right, with that being said, we're going to roll back to Port Richmond for the early game this year. It's going to be the number 6 MSIT Seagulls versus the number 11 New Dorp Centrals. And let me tell you, we played them twice this year, and honestly, we were lucky to win one of them and probably should have lost both of them. So it's something that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out on that different court with that energy, with what's on the line. So, and again, I know Pat and his group is going to be ready, and they're a great group of guys and teams. And like I said, they're going to be a great fight. So I'm looking forward to that matchup as well. So those two games at Port Richmond can be so really exciting.
And shout out to Coach Red in the building here tonight. I mean, you kind of have a star-studded like celebrity role when it comes to your assistant coaches there at MSIT. I mean, Coach, you're the president of the league. You got Red Tripp, and he's got one of the most tremendous charitable organizations in basketball with Bigger Than Basketball.
Yeah, let me give him a quick shout-out. When you talk about Bigger Than Basketball, Coach Red, you know, obviously is a guy that's passionate about what he does and cares about the kids. And, you know, it's always his best interest and his heart is always in it, and he's always figuring out things to make things, like you said, bigger than basketball. So it's not just things that happen on the court. It's the surrounding things in the community that he's involved with, putting on tournaments. And honestly, I mean, without him, a lot of this summer basketball tournaments and these good community events would not happen. So to Coach Red, I'm really proud of all the things he's doing, and love you, bro.
So you got New Dorp High School facing off against McKee High School in a knockout round. That's a rivalry, my brother.
Yeah, man, I'm missing. We're across the street from each other. Me and Pat used to play against each other. Sacred Heart, Holy Child. Man, this goes back for a long, long ways. But again, he's one of the nicest guys, one of the best players when we were young, and he's turned into an amazing coach. So, like I said, never ever take them guys lightly. I know what they bring to the table, and it's going to be a war.
Well, it's the 6 versus 11 seed that's been announced here in McKee. Staten Island Tech facing off against the New Dorp Central Cougars out of the central part of Staten Island. Trudging right along here. Charlie, we're doing a fantastic job. You told me you wanted to get it in tonight before 7, and we're moving right along here, brother. So shout out to all of the staff that put this event together in the last minute.
Oh, man, like before we even go on to the next bracket, because the next bracket is going to be interesting because we got a lot of
top 5 now. So, well, we've got 4 teams left.
True, but I see 3 teams in there that all would have an argument to be the 3, the 4, the 5. You know, so it's going to be something that when I did my bracket, they were all right there and then too. So, you know, unfortunately, the way it shakes out, it doesn't always fall in everybody's favor. But like I said, you got to win those games in those gyms to get it done. But again, I saved that one last because there are 3 teams right now sitting on the end of their seat that all 3 of them could feel like they're the 3. You know, so it's going to be interesting.
So you're saying there's some hate mail coming here potentially?
Nah, listen, man, it's all love, man. The committee, like I said, when you got Charlie DBAs, Carmon Anjuli, Eddie DeLessio, Tony Petoza, Jeff Ford, and the input of Coach Raffanella, when you get those type of guys who know this league, this Staten Island, the community, the teams, you know, like we have to respect the fact that they did their job, they showed up, and they made an incredible effort. So, like it is, it's tough. They didn't know the venues. They knew nothing but give me the list. So,
yep.
You know, we'll figure it out going forward. But like I said, man, thank you guys. So here we go. With the 3 seed at where is it?
Where is the game? I couldn't possibly tell you that. But I know who the 3 is playing.
Wait, where is it? Oh, I'm sorry. It's at Farrell.
Thanks, man.
My bad. See, look at you. Help me out there.
No,
all right. So at Farrell, we're going to have the 14 seed Staten Island Academy Tigers facing off with the number 3 Tottenville Pirates. The Pirates move up into the 3 seed. I guess the vacancy of Lamb and him coming back and them winning all those games, I guess that held close to the society there because, hey, congratulations to the 3 seed Tottenville High School.
You heard it here, folks. Tottenville cracking into the top 3. Well, that only leaves one matchup left on the board, Charlie.
And
let's talk about it.
It might be the game of the night. In my opinion, it's the game of the night. I mean, Farrell awarded the 7 and Petrides awarded the 10. You know, no one saw that coming early. Everybody has their own way of viewing things. You know, Petrides had an unbelievable season this year. They had a great team, a senior-led group that, you know, was tough. They gave us a beating in the first time, and we got them the second time. But, you know, they're going to be a tough group, and I won't be surprised. Farrell obviously is Farrell, man. Farrell's going to be a tough group, and because of the way it fell, Petrides got a tough task in walking into Farrell to play them at Farrell High School. So, I mean, I know Nick's going to have his troops ready. I know this could be motivation for them when they felt like they could have been a 3 seed all along, and now to fall to the 10. But you know what? I don't know. I think the fire in Nick and Petrides is going to be something that Farrell better be ready for.
Man, so this is shaping up right now to be an epic tournament for the ages, Charlie.
I mean, listen, man, I'm excited. There's so many things that go in, moving parts of putting this tournament together. And honestly, I can't wait to see the results. I'm excited about the challenge of keeping it up. We got a lot of hurdles still to go and trying to figure out the final venues and stuff. That'll all come tomorrow, hopefully. But bottom line is, man, this is something that I hold close and dear to my heart as far as Staten Island sports and the community. And last year was such a successful event. You know, I didn't see my family for 2 weeks, so shout out to my family. I will see you, Cha-Cha, Ryan, Law. I love you guys. And I will see you guys soon, but...
Shout out to all the coaches that won't see their family for 2 weeks. It's not just you. It's everybody out there. As we have officially announced the entire bracket here, Charlie, and we're just going to bring it up on screen.
Oh, man, it's going to be exciting. And I know, guys. I know everybody's going to be a little bit, like, you know, not sure how they feel about it, but trust me, in the fair sense of the word, I thought the committee did whatever they had to do. You could disagree with all of them, but, you know, I think they were visible. To the JV polls, obviously it was tough. You know, I want to thank Petrides again for allowing us to have the quarterfinals there and possibly the semis and the finals. And, you know, CSI, if we can make it work, great. And the borough president for helping us out with the funding for the girls' tournament and the boys' tournament. And CCTV jumping in as far as trying to help us down the line. So there's a lot of things and a lot of moving parts, like I said, but without Nobody Cares, we ain't sitting here right now. Without Nobody Cares, there was no coverage last year. Without Nobody Cares, there's no quarterfinal coverage right now. So love the fact that Danny is being Danny, and like you said, we might be last minute, but I don't think there's anybody better.
Well, we're out here, man, and we're doing it for the community, and we do it again and again. Glutton for punishment. I'll tell you, if you want to sponsor this broadcast coming, you absolutely can. We've got a hockey game supposed to be Wednesday night, St. Peter's against St. Joseph C from the skating pavilion. Bookie, you're supposed to be working. I forgot to tell you. Anyway, we're supposed to be doing a hockey game. We got the boys tournament firing up on Saturday. We'll be covering the quarterfinals. There's a knockout round before that, starting at 3 different locations, both the JV and the varsity, and of course JV going on at Curtis and Moore Catholic High School. So it's a big week for boys basketball here in Staten Island. The Lost Borough is about to make a hell of a lot of noise, Charlie, and it's a big thanks to you and all the great coaches out here on the Fifth Rock getting it done. Good job, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right, I'm pretty sure nobody cares. To all of our sponsors out there and to all of you around the world, thanks for tuning in tonight for the very first Sunday sit-down where we break down all of the seating for the JV and varsity tournament starting this week. Charlie Donohue, the president of the Staten Island Boys High School League. Danny Chanod, I guess president of Nobody Cares. What do you got for me, Charlie?
Just want to let everybody know at 7:06 there should be an article coming out that will give all the information of sites and times and venues. So if you didn't catch it or you weren't able to get it off the screen, Charlie DBA's, the Staten Island legend, is going to be putting it out there for everybody, and hopefully it comes to be what I know it could be. So it's going to be the best event again on Staten Island. I appreciate everybody. I look forward to seeing everybody at the venue. And we do have a couple more details to iron out, so we will be back in touch to make sure the confirmation of where the varsity and the JV final is going to be located. But we should all know that by tomorrow, 5 o'clock.
We appreciate you, Charlie, and we appreciate absolutely each and every single one of you. I haven't said it at all yet today, but do you have any idea who this broadcast booth is powered by, Charlie? It's the one and only Main Street Coffee.
Gotta love it. Best cup in the world, like Elf.
You said it, mister. Till next time, no religion, no politics, nobody cares. Make sure you support local sports. The tournament, the madness, begins this week. Let's go! JV, varsity, nobody cares. Support local sports, buddy.